So do we have a motion to an executive session?
Motion.
Main motion, trustee Trainer, second motion, trustee Trainer. All right, roll call please.
I'm sorry, the time is 7:55.
Thank you.
Trustee Parker second.
No, it was trustee Crenshaw second. Thank you, Mrs. King.
Trustee Crenshaw? Trustee Parker? Yes. Trustee Thomas?
Yes.
Trustee Trainer?
Yes.
Trustee Miracle?
Yes. And so now the next item on the agenda is public expression. Can you please, call out who we're hearing this evening, Ms. McQueen?
First, we have Dr. Faith Walters. Second is Mr. Jonathan Davis. Third is Judy Davis. Ms. Tamara Stewart. Ms. Julie Worthy. Christopher Williams, and Doris Hackett.
Okay, who's first?
Dr. Faith Walters.
Okay, so I'm sorry, just a moment, Dr. Walters. So, okay, so public expression is 3 minutes. Let's see what else. Public expression is 3 minutes. So please, Dr. Walters. Oh, hold on, the microphone is very close. Can you back that microphone up, please? Back. That's fine. Thank you, Ms. Hackett. Thank you, Dr. Walters.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Faith Walters. I'm a longtime resident of Mount Vernon, New York. I just decided to make a statement regarding the decorum at our public meetings. Leadership is more than just holding a title. It is about setting standards, creating a culture of respect, and ensuring that the people we serve feel valued. When we gather here as trustees, community members, gather here as trustees, community members, and stakeholders, we are not just engaging in discussions, we are shaping the future of this institution, the Mount Vernon Public Library. The public library is a pillar of the community, a place where knowledge, culture, and public trust intersect. That trust is not automatic, it is earned. And leadership within such a vital institution requires more than decision-making authority. It requires humility, decorum, and above all, respect. Respect should not be selective. It should not depend on personal preferences or the comfort of one's position. Whether addressing a community member, a fellow trustee, or an elected official. The tone we set in this space reflects not just on us as individuals, but on the integrity of this board as a whole. When an honorable congressman like George Latimer enters a room and being referenced, he should be recognized with respect his office demands.
Yes.
When legislator Tyree Woodson Samuels is referenced as well. It should be with the same dignity extended to any public servant. Disregarding titles is not just a lapse in protocol. It is a failure to recognize the weight of responsibility these individuals carry on behalf of the people. Trustee Trevor acknowledged both individuals as Mr. Latimer and Tyree. But this is not just about elected officials. It is about the everyday people who walk through these doors expecting to be heard. Leadership is not a position of privilege. It is a duty to serve, to listen, and to uplift. Disrespect, arrogance, and dismissive behaviors should not have no place in a role that requires stewardship of public trust. So I ask the question, what kind of leadership do we want to model? One that silences voices or one that welcomes them? One that diminishes those who contribute to our city or one that acknowledges and honors them? Let us choose to lead with integrity. Let us choose to create a culture where respect is not just expected from the community, but also extended by those in leadership. Because the strength of any institution is not the power of its leaders, but in the trust they build with those they serve. Thank you.
This is after the executive session. Everybody stayed.
Okay, okay, Mr. Davis, please approach. 3 minutes, sir.
My name is Jonathan Davis. I live in Mount Vernon, New York, former board member and present candidate for this library board of trustees. So I stand before this board appalled at the actions of one of its members and staff, and further saddened by the quiet acquiescence of some of the other board members. The attempt to stifle participation in the electoral process by arbitrarily imposing a deadline of March 15th to pick up petitions to run for library trustee is a blatant attempt to subvert the rights of Mount Vernon voters. The president has said that this was solely within the purview of the library director and his staff. She further states that it's in compliance with the terms of petition distribution. But interestingly, last year, a candidate was able to pick up a petition 1 week before the election. Even this year, at the school board, if you want to pick up a petition on April the 30th, the day of the election, it's allowed. The justification that the director is short-staffed, if that's so, why can't he reassign someone or hire part-time employees for the important function of facilitating the election process? It's also disingenuous for the president to expect us to believe that the director does anything without her approval. Even more distressing is the display on Nextdoor by the president in her response to a valid question raised by numerous citizens regarding the proposal to purchase 101 Summit as a satellite branch with a $1.7 million bond. What response will the trustees have to her sending an email to a citizen on library letterhead representing this board, telling him to keep her name out of her MFing mouth? Such conduct is unbecoming a trustee, let alone the president. Do y'all plan to address this, or will you continue to stand quietly by as she runs rampant over any semblance of decorum?
Amen. Who is next?
Miss Judy.
No, please be seated.
She left her speaker with
Hold on,
Jeanette.
sir, no talking, please.
Yeah.
All right, decorum, correct, all right. Is Mrs. Judy Williams here?
She is not here. I'm
All right, but we don't need to hear from you. We need to, if she's not here, that's fine. So who's the next one on the list?
The next person on the list would be Miss Tamara Stewart.
Okay, Ms. Stewart, please approach, thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, trustee, staff, and fellow citizens. My name is Tamara Stewart. Last week, Axel Eberman put a post on Nextdoor telling the community about your plan to have the school district obtain a $1.7 million bond to buy 101 Summit Avenue for this library. There were over 300 comments about Mr. Eberman's post in less than a week, and the community was overwhelmingly against this, quote, dumb idea. But rather than believe the public, Trustee Marable argued with everyone who didn't agree with her and cursed at Mr. Eberman in print in a message sent from her library email. Are you all comfortable with that brand of leadership? If not, what will you do about it? On April 7th, New York State Librarian Lauren Moore wrote a letter to this board expressing her concerns about reports she had been receiving regarding some of your actions. Ms. Moore is concerned about people being refused petition forms, the requirement for people to have to sign up and provide the subject of their public expression, and required pre-registration for the library's budget presentation on May 7th. The response from this board was Trustee Marable chiding Ms. Moore's decision to make the letter public on Nextdoor, and then writing a response to Ms. Moore justifying the problematic behavior. Did Trustee Marable consult all of you before speaking on your behalf? Do you agree with what she wrote? A responsible board and director would have heeded the state librarian's warning and made some changes. Unfortunately, you had not. You are still denying people petitions, you are still requiring people to sign up for public expression in the budget hearing, and you are still violating open meetings law. I hope that the public continues reporting your illegal actions to the State Librarian and Board of Regents. They have removed Mount Vernon Public Library trustees before, and they can do so again. I promise this community that I will be a far better trustee than most of you are being. I will help restore transparency, accountability, and respect for all of the laws that govern this library. Like most Mount Vernon taxpayers, I'm opposed to the purchase of 101 Summit Avenue, and I'm against the renaming of the Grace Baker Green Community Room without first
All right,
consulting
that's
the
it, sorry,
community.
your time is up, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, Ms. McQueen?
Ms. Julie Murphy.
Good evening, trustees,
Good
members of the
evening.
community. My name is Julie Millsworthy. I'm a former trustee of this library and currently serve as a trustee for the Westchester Library System. I make the following public observations and statements concerning the library and the strategic plans for the future. First of all, I request on behalf of the public and myself, access to the recently completed audit report and the proposed 2025-2026 budget. This data should have been made available with the announcement of the May 7th meeting, so the public can review and properly prepare for the budget presentation. I also note, even though we didn't hear the treasurer's report,
I'm sorry, what was the last, you said you wanted access to the audit report and what else?
the proposed budget. I also note that the treasurer's report that was prepared for this evening's meeting does not prepare the public or the trustees for the expected discussion and review of current financial conditions. The board and public should receive monthly reports that at minimum include a balance sheet, a check run, a report of revenue and expenditures, comparison to the current budget and previous year's expenditures. My second point, the structural and aesthetic condition of our children's library has been of long concern to this library board, to the staff, and to the public. Staff members report on the concerns about the space at practically every board meeting. I'm not aware of any comprehensive plan that involves the public to address these concerns. However, as you may know, there is a planned construction project at 140 Prospect Avenue. The plan is to build a 21-story luxury apartment building. The project includes first floor retail space, underground parking, a roof pool, maker space, a gym, and at least 350 residential units. At the Planning Commission hearing this month, I heard that the city is in favor of and anticipates this type of project. It's consistent with their plans for transit hub improvements, and the project will likely receive the approvals that the developer seeks. The developer, Alexander Group, reports that he is required to contribute almost $500,000, almost $500,000, in community improvements in, at, or around the project. They have some basic ideas about how that money could be spent, similar to their existing projects at 42 Broad Street in Fleetwood, such as landscaping, new sidewalks, public arts. My recommendation is that the Mount Vernon Public Library, I apologize for running over time. Is there anyone that would be willing to concede some time so I can finish my report?
Trustee Worthy?
Mr. Williams and Ms. Hackett.
That's not how it works, we don't do that. You got 3 minutes.
I will
That's it.
post,
Thank you.
I'll post the remainder of my remarks about that project in
Your
some
time,
public forum.
Ms.
Thank
Worthy,
you.
public expression for you, thank you. Who is next?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher Williams. I'm the union president here at the Mount Vernon Public Library for the union members here. I want to bring a couple issues to the board's attention. One of them is about the fact that the community needs more hotspots. David and I have spoke with this many times actually, and the fact that the hotspots that were once available to the community have now pretty much disappeared. We used to check out probably 50, 60 a month. Now it's probably more like 10, 15 because we don't have that many in circulation. So I am asking that the library goes ahead and, in continuing its, having the community have access to Wi-Fi in this area, to go ahead and purchase more, hotspots, and to, of course, you have to have service for it, of course. But it's a very popular media, and it's something that is definitely needed. Second thing I want to bring your attention to, as far as computers again, is the public computers upstairs. Tonight the computers were shut down at 6 p.m., from 6 p.m. to 8:30, and that's because of the fact of staffing issues. Again, I've spoken at previous meetings, the fact that staffing is definitely needed in that public area, in the public computers. Unfortunately, what happens is that when there's not staffing, it falls on circulation, and the fact is that we have our own duties that we need to go ahead and take care of. So the public computers definitely needs staffing. You said that March 31st would be the end of the, what is that? The hiring freeze, right. You said that March 31st would be the end of the hiring freeze. I haven't heard anything about it, so I'm hoping that means that you can go ahead and, hire someone for that position. You need probably another person that's doing 17 and a half hours to go ahead and complete those hours so that the public computers can be on from the time we open to the time we close. The last thing I want to speak about is PTO time. The director and I spoke about beginning of March as far as paid time off, as far as donating time to people who may need it, who may be in a situation where they have used up all their time.
Mr. Williams, I'm sorry, we're not discussing anything related to, is that like a union item or something?
Not really, no. It's more of a...
Anything personnel or anything?
No, it's not really personnel, it's more just letting the board know that this is something that actually could be done. I mean,
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
You interrupted
Thank
me.
you,
Just
Mr.
give me my last 30 seconds.
Well,
Finish
Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Listen. You can finish in one sentence, and please, thank you.
Okay. The director and I spoke about something of this nature, and I also sent an email to the Board of Trustees. I didn't get a response except for Trustee Marable, who said that the director of executive is in charge of something of that nature. So I just wanted to know if this is the case, and if the director and I can get together and go ahead and make something like this available. But
Yeah, to speak to the director, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Like, we answered you in the email already, but thank you. All right, and who's next?
Ms. Doris Hackett.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hackett, please approach.
Good afternoon, folks. Doris Hackett. I'm the union vice president here as well as a librarian for over 26 years, been working here. Just want to make the Board of Trustees aware that on March 21st, the library hosted a wonderful celebration here in our community room. Among those in attendance were representatives from Senator Chuck Schumer's office, Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, and the Vice President of Community Impact at Charter Communications. I want to take this time to extend our deepest thanks to the STEM Alliance, who have been our dedicated partners since last year in presenting the Chromebook program to the public. Not only did they fully fund this event, but they rolled up their sleeves to help with setup and thoughtfully chose a local Black-owned catering company for the food. Thanks to their generosity and shared vision, not one dime of taxpayer money was spent on this celebration. These are people who truly value supporting nonprofits and championing the cause of libraries. A big thank you to Ms. Trustee Crenshaw for attending and for her kind words and encouraging words. Also, thank you to Ms. Carolyn Harris for joining us and celebrating this program, alongside Ms. Dawn Gibson, who literally brought the room to tears with her comments on how the program affected her. The representative from Chuck Schumer's office personally thanked me for hosting this event and commented on what a beautiful library we have. We were also honored because a special moment during the program was when the Charter Communications presented the STEM Alliance with a $20,000 check on behalf of Spectrum to support future Chromebook programs. If anyone would like to read the article that was in the paper about this, or see pictures, you can email me and I'll send you the link. On another note, I was very surprised and frankly quite disappointed to learn that the business office door will now remain locked during the day as a safety measure. This change means that staff must either knock on the door or call ahead just to access basic office supplies like pens and pencils. At the same time, staff in other departments are not afforded similar protections. Doors leading to our private staff areas, such as tech services or the stacks, remain unlocked, allowing patrons to wander through our spaces intended to be restricted. It's very troubling that enhanced safety measures appear to be prioritized for the business office while our union staff are left without similar consideration. This disparity raises valid concerns about how workplace safety is being applied and for whom it's being applied. Thank you.
So is that it, Ms. McQueen? Okay, so trustees, would any of you like to address any of the speakers? Trustee Thomas, would you like to address anyone?
Well, first of all, I want to thank each, is this on? First and foremost, I want to thank all of the speakers. I want to address a couple of the concerns that was brought before this board.